text 206, translation. The pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna are self-effulgent. They are happiness personified, unlimited and all-powerful. Even so, the spiritual humors of such pastimes are never complete without the gopis, the Lord's personal friends. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is never complete without his spiritual potencies. Therefore, unless one takes shelter of the gopis, one cannot enter into the company of Radha and Krishna. Who can be interested in their spiritual pastimes without taking their shelter? Purport. There is a quotation from the Caitanya-caritamrta 10:17.
Let's continue.
Text 207. There is an inexplicable fact about the natural inclinations of the gopis. The gopis never want to enjoy themselves with Krishna personally. The happiness of the gopis increases 10 million times when they serve to engage Sri Radha and Krishna in their
Text 209. By nature, Srimati Radharani is just like a creeper of Godhead, and the gopis are the twigs, flowers, and leaves of that creeper. When the nectar of Krishna's pastimes is sprinkled on the creeper, the happiness derived by the twigs, flowers, and leaves is 10 million times greater than the derived by the creeper itself.
Prabhu, your voice is actually wobbling.
Caitanya-caritamrta Madhya.
Can't hear properly.
Yeah. Translation. When the nectar of Krishna's pastimes is sprinkled on that creeper, the happiness derived by the twigs, flowers, and leaves is 10 million times greater than that derived by the creeper itself. In his Anta Prabhavajya, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura states, Srimati Radharani is the creeper of the love of Godhead, and the gopis are exactly like twigs, flowers, and leaves. When water is sprinkled on the creeper, the twigs, flowers, and leaves indirectly receive all the benefits of the creeper itself. But water sprinkled directly on the twigs, leaves, and flowers is not as effective as water sprinkled on the creeper's fruit. The gopis are not as pleased when they directly mix with Krishna as when they serve to unite Srimati Radharani with Krishna. Their transcendental pleasure lies in uniting them.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next, Prabhu.
Beautiful analogy. Really beautiful analogy. Very poetic. Prose, I guess it would be called.
Prabhu, in previous verses, it says that gopis did not want to dance for personal reason, or for personally they did not want to do things with Krishna. But at times it says
gazing to the lotus flower. His pleasure-giving potency is known as Ahladini, of which the active principle is Srimati Radharani. She is compared to a creeper with newly grown flowers and leaves. When the nectar of Krishna's pastimes is sprinkled on Srimati Radharani, all her friends, the gopis, immediately appreciate the pleasure 100 times more than if they were sprinkled themselves. Actually, this is not at all wonderful. Purport. This verse is also from the Govinda Leela Amrita 10.16.
Please continue.
Okay. Although the gopis, Srimati Radharani's friends, do not desire to enjoy themselves directly with Krishna, Srimati Radharani makes a great endeavor to induce Krishna to enjoy himself with the gopis.
Yes, please continue.
My computer was not working. sorry. It's just not going to the next.
Oh, no worries. I can read it. And anybody else? Everybody got, actually, Rani Mataji cannot read. So, can Nana chale Krishna prere sangama karaye Atma Krishna sanga hate koti sukha paye. Presenting various pleas for gopis, Srimati Radharani sometimes sends the gopis to Krishna just to enable them to associate with him directly. At such times, she enjoys a happiness 10 million times greater than that enjoyed through direct association.
So here's an interesting point. The gopis derive more satisfaction by assisting Radharani and having her associate directly with Krishna. And here, Radharani is deriving more pleasure when she's arranging for the gopis to have direct association or enjoyment with Krishna. And this is the same with ourselves and when we engage in devotional service. If we're helping another devotee engage in Krishna's service, we derive more satisfaction from that. Sometimes we have a tendency to be so attached to our service that we don't want anyone to come and get involved with it. We want to make sure that we're the ones that are doing the service, but we derive more satisfaction of having our service, of having the service that we may be doing being done by others to please Krishna. Just as Radharani derives more satisfaction by trying to get the gopis closer to Krishna, and the gopis derive more satisfaction by bringing Krishna closer to bringing Radha closer to Krishna.
Pushta Thana Sabra Prema Deki Krishna Hai Tushta. The transcendental mellow is nourished by that mutual behavior in transcendental love of Godhead. When Lord Krishna sees how the gopis have developed pure love for him, he becomes very satisfied. Purport. Srimati Radharani and the gopis are not interested in their personal happiness, derived from association with Krishna. Rather, they become happy by seeing one another associate with Krishna. In this way, their dealings are further nourished by love of Godhead. And seeing this, Krishna is very pleased. Sahaja gopira prema nahe prakrita kama kama krida sametara trahi kama nama. It is to be noted that the natural characteristics of the gopis to love the Supreme Lord. Their lusty desire is not to be compared to the material lust. Nonetheless, because their desire sometimes appears to resemble material lust, their transcendental love for Krishna is sometimes described as lust. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakre says that material lust should never be attributed to Krishna, who is full of transcendental knowledge. Material lust cannot be engaged in the service of the Lord, for it is applicable to materialists, not to Krishna. Only prema or love of Godhead is applicable for the satisfaction of Krishna. Prema is full of service rendered unto the Lord. The lusty affairs of the gopis actually constitute the topmost love of Godhead, because the gopis never act for their own personal satisfaction. They are simply pleased by engaging other gopis in the service of the Lord. The gopis derive more transcendental pleasure from indirectly engaging their other gopis in the service of Krishna than from engaging in their than from engaging in his service themselves. That is the difference between material lust and love of Godhead. Lust applies to the material world, and love of Godhead applies only to Krishna. Any question, Prabhu? Any explanation?
I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Same point that we've discussed. Did Bhakti get a chance to read?
She said she did not. She cannot today.
Okay.
Probably, did you want to read one more verse? Can you move now?
Yes.
Sure.
216.
Hmm.
Although the dealings of the gopis with Krishna are on the platform of pure love of Godhead, such dealings are sometimes considered to be lusty. But because they are completely spiritual, Uddhav and all the other dearmost devotees of the Lord desire to participate in them. Purport. This is a quotation from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.285. Text 217. Lusty desires are experienced when one is concerned with his own personal sense gratification. The mood of the gopis is not like that. Their only desire is to satisfy the senses of Krishna. Text
So
218.
that's the difference between love and lust. Lust just is self-serving or self-interest, and love is satisfying, ultimately satisfying Krishna.
Text 218. Among the gopis, there is not a pinch of desire for sense gratification. Their only desire is to give pleasure to Krishna, and this is why they mingle with him and enjoy with him. Hare Krishna, 8 o'clock.
Thank you. It's now 8 o'clock.